What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today I have for you guys a first look at an exciting new knife. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it, everyone. It really helps get these videos pushed out there to more people. And feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So we have a new knife to take a look at, and if you have been following along with the channel and you'll remember that we've done quite a few videos on the Daily Carry Co. aluminum slide. Coming in 14C with a full aluminum handle, belt satin, very, very nice lightweight knife. I think this is the golden boy of gravity knives, and we'll get to that and why here in a little bit. But let's bring out the star of the show. This is Daily Carry Co.'s Big Daddy. This is their most premium knife currently. This is called the Magslide. It's going to be coming in M390 steel. We have a beautiful belt satin finish on this guy. The Tanto blade is nice and pokey. You can see the finish there. It looks really, really good. We have a full titanium handle. This particular one has this really cool milling pattern on both sides. And then on the face of the spine, we have this little bit of dimpling and milling, which is a nice little touch. And then the spine is completely softened and completely flat, and we'll get to why that is important for both of these knives here in a moment. Now let's talk price and that sort of thing. There will be links down in the description for these knives for the Daily Carry Co. website. I will also have, for my viewers only, Daily Carry Co. gave me a 10% off coupon code. You can use that on anything in the store, not just the knives, but you can use it on both of the knives. It's a 10% discount code. I'll have all of that stuff down in the description. Entirely up to you if you want to use those, but if you find something you like, you can plug that discount code in and save a little bit of money. The full titanium version here in M390 is going to retail for $240 full retail, but with the discount code, that goes down to about like $215 or so. I think that's a formidable price for the Magslide. Now, the aluminum version coming in 14C is going to be full retail $100. But with the 10% coupon code, it takes it down to $89.99. I think it's $99.99 full retail. So $89.99. I think that is a fair and formidable price for this guy as well. Now, we're going to be getting, quite a little price jump from one to the other, but for good reason. 14C to M390, aluminum to a thick slab of titanium that has some beautiful milling done in it. You can see here that the titanium one is much more substantial than the aluminum. It's thicker, it's taller, it's wider. It's just a much more substantial knife than the aluminum one. Now, they are going to be the same overall length. So, in the open and the closed position, they will be pretty much identical in their length overall. Now, they both use this magnet system that I believe Daily Carry Co. is the first company and maybe still the only company to use this in a gravity style knife. But these magnets that they use to keep the handle closed, whether the blade is out or whether the blade is closed, that magnet system is what keeps this handle closed up. So it's not going to be just willy-nilly opening up in your hand. It's not going to be opening up in your pouch, your backpack, your slip, your organizer, whatever it is. You have to basically deliberately open this up and close this up, or you have to be doing something insanely stupid. I have not had any issues with either of these opening up in my pocket. That is one reason why we're not doing a standard unboxing on this. I wanted to get a feel for it. I wanted to compare it to this aluminum one. I've spent a lot of time with this aluminum one. I've carried it by just dropping it in my pocket. I've carried it by putting it in a custom leather slip. I've carried it by putting it in an organizer and an EDC pouch. It's fit a bunch of different roles and done very well. So this has quite a bit of carry time. Now I've kind of replaced this one with this one just so I could, you know, get a feel for it and see how it does. And the same is going to hold true for this one as well. It's not going to just open up in your hand while you're using it. It's not just going to open up while it's closed and in your hand. It's not going to just open up in your pocket. So you don't have to worry about that. And I think that is, you know, one of the many things about this knife that I really enjoy. I think it's a great feature. You don't have to worry about messing with any locks or external locks, slide locks, anything like that, having to do anything extra. The handle does all of it for you. And on the flip side, you know, other gravity knives don't have anything to, you know, keep them closed or hold them closed. So they're constantly, you know, opening up in your hand if you're trying to use it and move around on the handle. They're constantly opening up if you just have it in your hand or whatever. And there's no way you could just drop one of those in your pocket because it would for sure open up. Now the tracks on these are extremely smooth on both of them. You know, no issues whatsoever with that. The next great thing about these knives is the ergonomics of these knives. They are extremely comfortable, guys, because everything is closed off around this knife. The spine is closed off, the face of the spine, the sides of the knife. You know, if we bring out a standard knife here, you'll see that with the RSK from Hogue, you know, the spine is open. The face of the spine, you have the pocket clip, you have angles and points and all kinds of different stuff going on with a lot of different folding knives. And now, not that this knife is really uncomfortable or anything like that, but there are folding knives that can be very uncomfortable and can be very fatiguing on your hand. But in the case of these gravity knives, you have a solid handle here. It's going to act very similarly to what a fixed blade feels like in hand. And I can tell you guys, it's one of the most ergonomic handles and knives that I've handled. Out of probably 600 or 700 knives, this is one of the most comfortable in-hand knives that I have had, both of them. This one's a little bit, you know, more substantial, a little bit thicker, but the aluminum one, you know, also feels very good. I can get a nice full grip. I have XL sized hands, so I think even, you know, unless they're massive 2XL hands, like you're about to be a 3XL, I think you're going to be just fine on this knife. I love the ability to choke up right behind the edge. You have nothing stopping you from doing so. I love the ability to get right up on that tip for more precision type work and use that secondary edge for various tasks. So the ergonomics are awesome on these gravity knives. Another thing I really like is that the edge starts right from the handle. So it's a perfect place to trap material. You know, a lot of knives can have a finger choil, they have a sharpening choil, so you can get caught up in that, you know, more often than not. In the case of these, that edge runs right into the handle. Now the sharpeners out there might not be too enthused, but I think if we took the blade out of the handle, it'll be a lot easier to sharpen. We are going to do a disassembly of these in a separate video so we can kind of see the inner workings and see what it would look like outside of the handle. What, you know, it may have a sharpening choil below the handle. I don't know that, but it may. But I really enjoy that because it's a nice place to trap material. And speaking of, you know, the blades and the edges, let's see what kind of edge came on these. Now the aluminum one in 14C here has a lot more use than this guy. This is basically just cut some paper, cut some cardboard just to kind of feel that edge out right out of the box. So this has substantially more use on the blade, but you're going to see here that it is still maintaining a nice edge. This has not been stropped, not been sharpened. It's still got a nice edge on it. And it came out of the box nice and sharp. The same way with the mag blade here. Nice and sharp right out of the box. A very robust blade. If you look at the blade stock of this knife, it is a little bit thicker. It's a little bit more substantial, but it's going to make these very robust. These are not going to be, you know, utility style slicers or anything like that, and they weren't created to be like that. These were created to be a little bit more robust in terms of ergonomics and as far as the performance of the blade. Something a little bit more dependable. It's not going to chip or break on you, you know, under a little bit heavier tasks. So don't get this expecting it to be, you know, 80 thou blade stock and 8 thou behind the edge. It's not going to be that way. It's supposed to be more substantial. You can see going out to the tip there, it's nice and thick. I have had no issues though. You can still get these nice and sharp, and if you get the M390 nice and sharp, it's going to cut for a very long time. The 14C doesn't have quite the edge retention, but where it lacks in edge retention, it makes up for in toughness. It is ultra tough, ultra corrosion resistant, and it's going to be very easy to sharpen back up. So I think two very good blade material choices here with these two knives. Now let's move to changes and updates. I would like to see a titanium handle and a 14C 28N blade. I would like to see an aluminum handle and an M390 blade. I would also like to see an additional steel mixed in. You know, just some, there's nothing really I would change to this knife. We're going to get to that. But I would like to see some more options when it comes to what they offer. And the cool thing about doing what I just said is, you know, this one's around 200, this one's around 100. If you mixed these two knives, you would have a price point that should be in the middle of both of these for both those two options that I gave. You know, those should be between like 130 and 160, 170, something like that at the most. So you'd have two knives in between, you know, the 100 and the 220 or whatever it is, 230 for this. So I think that would be a great idea, great option. Now, the biggest question mark some people may have, we already kind of touched on it, is they don't have a pocket clip. So I think adding a pocket clip would be a good idea, but I would do it in such a way that you mill this out, you know, on the handle here, whichever side, you know, make it a righty, and I think everybody would be fine with that. But make it so there is a pocket clip, but so that there's a filler tab there, and for the people who don't want that pocket clip, they can leave the filler tab there and rock on, no issue. For the people who do want a pocket clip, you know, if it comes in the box, you already have it. It's there. If you want to use it, you can pop the filler tab out, put the pocket clip on, and you can rock out. So the option, that's the key, is options, in my opinion. The more options for everything, the better, because it's going to be more appealing. But as it sits, it fits a bunch of different roles, and I think it fits them very well. Like I said, I've had no issues, and I have no worry about either of these. You know, in gym shorts, I could drop this in my pocket, and I wouldn't worry, you know, unless I was, you know, wrestling or housing around or sprinting or something like that. But just casually walking around, doing your thing, this is not going to open up in your pocket. And I have pocket dropped both of these many times. You can do the custom slip ordeal, like I said, or just get a slip. Doesn't have to be a custom slip, but you could get a slip and go that route with it, which is what a lot of people have done with various gravity knives. You could also use a pocket organizer or an EDC pouch. You know, like I said, I've done all of those ways, and it works very well in all of them. So it's a very crossover-oriented knife, because some knives, you know, you just cannot put in a pouch or an organizer. They're just too wide, too thick, you know, too tall. But in the case of these, they keep a nice profile, and that's another thing I enjoy about both of these. You know, other than knife people and people who just know, you know, they would have to be knife people, but the casual person is not going to know what these are. You know what I mean? They just won't. You can't tell what they are. And I think that's another cool feature of these knives. You could literally have this in your hand, be twirling it around. This could be a lighter. This could be a pen. I mean, there's so many goofy contraptions out there nowadays. Nobody would know what this is. And all along, you have a nice little blade in your hand or in your pocket, whatever. But I enjoy a few select things very much so about these knives. The high points are definitely, you know, the innovation of the gravity knife itself. The materials are good. The magnets are fantastic. I much prefer them over any other type of gravity knife that I've handled thus far. The ergonomics are out of this world. It's just a really cool knife. Is it going to be the most functional, utility-driven knife in the world? No, but it is fun, it's cool, it's awesome, and it's okay to buy things based just solely on it, you know, being cool. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Really helps get the videos out there, guys. If you like knife and EDC content, we do videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of those out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you for watching. I will catch you on the next one.